What is, everyone? Welcome to Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we talk about the things that excite us in the news and we answer questions from you, the people. We also fall apart when Josh isn't here. For the audio listeners, Josh is not on this episode. He's dealing with family shit. So, since I fumbled through that so hard, I'll start us off. My news isn't very long, but it's important to all Halo fans everywhere. They're listening, y'all. They are making some changes after
Who's they?
a 343 specifically. I have my own conspiracy theories, but I'll keep that to myself for now and just focus on what we have in front of us. If you want to know my conspiracy theories, join that Discord at nerdon.tv/Discord and hit me up. I'll let you know all my thoughts. But for now, here's what we have for reals. 343, after a rough launch of Halo Infinite's technically multiplayer beta with their battle pass and lack of XP, they have listened to the fans. They have implemented immediate fixes to the XP system and battle pass system with plans to do some more in the future, changing our once only 50 XP per game to a tier system now, where your first game gets you 300, your second and third gets you 200 XP, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, I believe, gets you 100, and then 7 and on gives you 50 XP for every game you complete, as well as tweaking some of the difficulty of the weekly challenges. Now, with that, people are still clamoring for some more changes with the Battle Pass. For instance, there's an issue where at level 99, you get the same exact skin you get at the beginning of the game, but instead of a little blue light on your chest, little red light on your chest, it is a blue light. Nice. So hoping to implement some more changes from that as well. They've also made a official statement, this is the last bit of news on this here, that they are working hard to release a few new game modes before the new year, including a permanent home for Fiesta, which if anyone played the event this last couple of weeks, was a lot of fun. It's where you get to just start with random guns. They're also introducing SWAT, and they're trying to, as quick as they can, implement a Slayer-only playlist, which is something that the fans have been asking for since the release. So as a Halo fan myself, it's very exciting. These are all the changes we wanted to... these are the things we hoped would come with the game at launch, but it's nice to see that they are listening. Again, if you want to hear my full thoughts on this, hit me up at nerdon.tv/Discord. Just give me that @ Anyway, that's my news, Tom. What you got?
I mean, I want to real quick staying on it a little bit, just because,
sure.
Since we're just two hosts today, we can stay on topics a little bit longer. I miss what is it? Contamination or zombie or infection.
Yeah,
I miss that. So like
I'm hoping they bring that back too.
All the Spartans have a shotgun and a grenade, and I think even like the guy with the blade arm, and you shoot like little grenades. And then the infected were all the elites, and they had swords. So you're
still technically a Spartan, but you would have green armor, and you started with the sword, and basically you would go around. If you were the infected, anyone you killed then joined your team, and the goal is to be the last man standing. Yeah.
I liked it. I think it was Halo 2 or Halo 3 when they introduced it, so you were an elite.
Oh yeah.
And I just like that, because it's like, also I'm in the minority of, I like the look of the elites and playing as the elites comparatively.
For sure. I do miss, you used to be able to just in PvP in general choose if you wanted to be an elite or a Spartan. And I would love to bring that back as well.
Also game mode like Juggernaut, and however they decide to use Juggernaut, you could use Ninja Knot, or you could use Dreadnought, which was like cloaking, invisibility, overshield, and they had like a shotgun, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I'd be happy to see some more game modes, just so there's more variety. I'm not too fond of some of the new stuff they have, but I'll play it. I kind of made my voice out there of like, I don't have too much stake in Halo, but I would hate to see Halo kind of fall to the wayside, like DICE has kind of with like Battlefront Star Wars games, where it kind of just like doesn't have the same prestige as it used to have before.
Yeah, it has some sort of weird half-life just because of a poor launch and a poor support system. But it sounds like they're really listening to us, and in fact, the head of 343 is almost daily encouraging fans to speak out, tag Microsoft, tag 343, let them know what you want because they want to make this the game that you want to play. So, yeah, that's that.
With that being said, I
Yeah.
have two tidbits of news. I cheated this week because I knew that we were going to have two people. And the first bit of news, the big kind of marquee, which will be on the thumbnails and all that stuff. Batgirl, the DCEU film that is going to be only playing on HBO Max for some weird reason, has started principal photography. So Leslie Grace, who plays Barbara Gordon, J.K. Simmons, who plays Commissioner James
Mm,
Gordon, will be reprising his role. And the directors will be co-directed by the directors who did Bad Boys for Life. And recently, they posted a really cool video of from the Instagram of Adil El Arbi, one of the co-directors, who posted a video of Brendan Fraser's birthday, and they gave him a little cake on set. And they recorded it, and it was really nice because Brendan Fraser is this kind of
kind of the
Hollywood,
best person in the world.
yeah, this Hollywood gem that kind of like kind of walked away from the spotlight and went through a lot in life and kind of has just been very grateful and all that stuff. And it's been really beautiful to kind of see his renaissance come back and all that stuff. And he'll be playing the antagonist of the film, Firefly.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool that you see him potentially in his home or his workshop or wherever, and he's got like that welder's apron and kind of brown. It looks a little bit like Leatherface, if to be honest, but not like with a mask or anything like that, but just the clothing. They still have not yet announced who will be the Batman of this one. It's really weird that you have to say those things because a lot of people were thinking that's gonna be Michael Keaton, but they have J.K. Simmons, who is connected to Ben Affleck, so it's all but time before they say Ben Affleck's going to be the Batman for this one. Which again, in the DCEU Snyderverse fans were all just like, chomping at the bit to be like, please God, just give us a morsel of what we wanted and what was set up and everything like that. I will say, just for everyone to kind of be thinking, oh, it's potentially still gonna be Michael Keaton and the Flash is going to rewrite everything. Batgirl takes place after the Flash, and Michael Keaton right now is on set to shoot footage for Morbius as his character,
That's
the
right.
Vulture.
As Vulture.
So he's not in the same town and city. So I don't think that.
Well, isn't it also like, isn't there an issue with like, or not issue, but didn't a lot of fans catch in Morbius that it's like also supporting the 3 different Spider-Man timelines at once?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But then my second bit of news, which also is kind of like the thing of like a testament of like us DCU fans and Snyder Cut fans who are just
they
like,
just doubled up on you. Sorry, my audio's
oh,
freaking out. You're good now.
cool.
You should be good now.
And we're just like wanting to drag our legs through broken glass for a mile to be like, can we please get Henry Cavill to come back once, for Superman? Because yesterday, as of this recording, Kevin Feige, COO of Marvel entirety, the showrunner, producer of all things in the MCU. Many people call the GOATs. I definitely say like the mastermind, and definitely the person that carries a lot of the weight of the grand success of Disney and Marvel. Was had an interview with Cinema Blend, and the question came back of, will Daredevil come back, and will Daredevil make an appearance in the MCU? And
oh shit, I haven't heard this yet.
yeah, the quote was, yes, if Daredevil does come back in any form or fashion, it will be Charlie Cox's Daredevil from the Netflix series.
Oh shit.
And I think he said, like, with the multiverse and with all the stories, with all the characters, we have tools in order to tell grander stories. And it's one of those things, it's like, if anything, MCU is definitely 10 years ahead of the game in terms of learning how to listen to their audience,
Mm-hmm.
and then giving them what they want. I would hate it if they pulled a little Peter Evans kind of boner thing, but hopefully Charlie Cox comes back as the Daredevil we saw in Netflix. And I hope that means Mike Coulter comes back as Luke Cage. I hope that means John
Kristen
Bernthal
Ritter.
comes. Yeah, Kristen Ritter comes back as Jessica Jones, and John Bernthal comes back as Punisher. I really enjoy those iterations of the characters. Seeing that Marvel has in the comics introduced a new Iron Fist, it feels like that's potential that they're probably going to introduce a new Iron Fist as a character, like a
Mm,
mantle being passed down. Potentially, I could imagine him like having some tie-ins with Shang-Chi. So we don't know, but just that being said, it's really fun. Charlie Cox coming back, and especially also the more and more. I have not watched any of the Hawkeye series, everyone, but I do know that there's some
same.
murmurs that potentially Wilson Fisk makes an appearance. So um, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. So that's always fun to see them. And it's only it was that was kind of thing. It was a matter of time to have them be honored because the Netflix series did do a lot in what I think what the new Disney Plus shows were currently doing for us in 2021 of like, oh, we're gonna, you know, satisfy or quench your thirst while we're waiting for the next Marvel film. Where this year it was like 4 Marvel films, 5 shows, and you're like, okay, I didn't need that much, but like, between Age of Ultron and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2, here you go, Daredevil season 2. You're like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like
Right.
now we have a show in between the year that the movie's gonna come out. So it's like you had a Marvel every year. Now you have a Marvel every 4 months.
It's
That
every
being said,
fucking 3 weeks.
yeah. So that being said, I'm very excited for people who enjoy the Netflix shows, who love the Daredevil series. It wasn't my favorite. I liked Jessica Jones and Punisher a little bit more, but
Thursday, I
that's a
like
big
Ben Affleck's more. I was like, oh
no,
no.
no, no. But no, that's a huge thing, and I know a lot of people love the hashtag Save Daredevil. Y'all made it, baby. We live in the world 20. We live in the year 2021 where so many things happen. Game stonks, Snyder Cut, Save Daredevil. It all happened.
And I'll
Baby.
just say it right now. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah, man. I'm always there, and give Alita her sequel. So that's
Yeah.
all the news that I got. Now we move on to the next part, the second last part of the show, where we
Questions.
where we answer
Gotta love
questions
them
from you.
questions, baby.
Corey, where can people send their questions?
Nerdon.tv/questions. We'll have all your different ways you can send us to it. You can hit us up on the socials. You can hit us up on the Discord. But honestly, the easiest way is nerdon.tv/questions.
Yes. So, that being said, I will start us off with the questions. And it's always interesting because I pick the questions a week in advance. So, typically at the end of this update episode, I will pick a new questions for the next week. But if the host's number or participants change, then I'm like, okay, maybe I should change
Got to
it.
change it on the fly.
Yes. So, that being said, I think I picked some pretty appropriate questions. This one comes from Jeremy M.
Shout out.
And the question is, if you were a beer, what style would you be and why? Feel free to substitute for wine and varietal. So doesn't have to be.
Or spirits.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be a beer. I think I would be like I'd be a whiskey for sure.
Okay. What style?
A bourbon.
Mhm.
And I'm not like a big drinker of any sort, but there's just something I do appreciate, like cozy things in life and being comfortable, and there's nothing that quite beats, like, if you're gonna drink, for me, having just a glass of whiskey on the rocks, chilling at home on your porch in the backyard with some friends, maybe. And that's kind of it. It's simple.
What was
Yeah.
the drink? The drink you got me on my birthday was like a peach whiskey, right?
It was a type. It was called the Not So Old Fashioned, and it had, I think, strawberry muddled into it.
That was so good.
And it was really, really good. Yeah.
That's the thing too. It's like I do like a drink that, like, I think I go for mixed drinks. So when I was younger, I definitely went like mixed drinks of vodka, so like lemonade and Red Bull. Now it's like, well, if you can mix a smoky and savoriness with like a sweetness, that kind of makes it feel like I'm drinking glasses of summer.
Did I make you my maple old fashioned?
No, but the one time I think you had a barbecue, I think you had like, no, I don't think it was you. I think someone
Nikhil.
brought, yeah, and had the fruit in there.
Strawberries, yeah, the frozen strawberries.
But no, I've not had your maple boy.
We'll make it happen.
Okay, we'll make it happen. For me, I got, again, we have variety. We have plenty of time. 2 hosts. If I was a beer,
yeah,
I would do, honestly, I like a Belgian. I like Belgian beers because they have like a crisp aftertaste,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of feels refreshing, and it's a little bit better than kind of like I call them piss beers. I love them, but like the Coronas and like
Oh
the
yeah.
Budweisers, where it's like these are beer pong beers.
I think Blue Moon's
Um,
a Belgian ale.
yes, Blue Moon
Yeah.
is a Belgian, and I like Belgians. Blue Moon's actually a little bit kind of almost too tart or hearty for me. Like
Mm.
I like an Allagash or like a Hefeweizen. Um, typically
Yeah, it's a
but
Belgian white ale. Is Blue
mhm.
Moon.
I would say I actually enjoy like if I was a beer, I for some reason feel like I'd be like some stout, some chunky peanut buttery chocolatey stout
Oh
that's
yeah.
just thick and it feels like chocolate milk that you're drinking.
If I was a beer, I think I would be a golden ale.
Oh yeah, yeah, you would be. You'd be very light, very
Yeah.
nice. You could easy go down.
I like the chocolate stout though, Tom. That fits you real well.
Yeah. But if I was a wine,
Okay.
I would
That's
say
right. We can pontificate on all this because
yeah,
just two of
we
us.
can. Yeah. If I was a wine, I would say I would be. I mean, I don't know wines that well, but honestly, Cabernet Sauvignon has been mine. So red
cab.
wine. And
Yeah.
I hear cabs are just easy going, and like there's no real bad ones. It's hard to have a bad cab.
Yeah. I think I would be a red blend because I don't know anything about wine.
There you go. How about this? How about this, Corey? Just to sweeten the pot, you could be an Italian red blend.
Oh, I'll be a port. I like sweet wines. I'll be a dessert wine. Because if I'm
And
gonna have
then
wine, it's gonna be dessert.
and then for the Verital, the spirits, just because the last one that we can move on. I always said this. It's like I would want to be a bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
but I think honestly I would prefer to be a sake.
Yeah.
Like I want to be a sweet lychee sake or like something sweet and
To
just
be honest with
nice
you,
and warm.
I want to be a Japanese whiskey, but I'm not that sophisticated. Like
I
a
mean,
Suntory. No.
yeah,
I think I fit perfectly with my Crown Royal. I think it's like, yeah, that's Corey.
yeah,
Especially because it comes in a blanket. Like, what are you gonna do?
And what has it got? Vanilla?
They have peach, vanilla, apple, and then a like a rye, which is really good.
Ooh. Cool. So I think that answers that question to a full amount.
I think so.
Next question is going to be from Thomas Solario.
Shout out.
And this question is, who's the best at Super Smash Bros?
Tom. 100% like whooped all of us.
It's a very
yeah. Like not even a challenge for him.
And this is the thing. I'll tell you right now. Everyone listening, I know all you guys are pro Smash Bros players and you guys whip all your family's butts. The true secret to get good at a Smash Bros game is to play against people who are better than you, obviously. But there is this weird like as I'm going to quote a video game donkey right now, and it's like there's easy and then there's hard but fair and then there's fuck you. And you have to play against people who are like just fuck you, and it's like this is so hard and it's impossible for you to win because it starts like a glitch in the matrix happens where you start actually seeing the game differently, and you realize it is a lot about control of area and then how to
looking for openings
gain control and punishing your opponent, and it's like ridiculous. And the only reason I'm saying this and why my preaching is all that is because I played against one of the top 10 Ike players in the world, and I was like the best Ike player I ever played with, and he whipped my butt, like he whipped my ass.
Oh, he did?
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Big
it was
time.
like cool. It was cool to play with him and be like, oh, he uses Ike so differently than I use Ike. I tend to be like
interesting,
very aggressive going after you, where he was very like, I know exactly the range I need to be in order to hit you really hard. And I was just like,
so he was cold and calculated.
Oh, very cold and calculated. And he knew exactly how to punish like all my aggressiveness, where he's like, okay, cool, this is what I'm going to do, and parry and then poke you. And then like, oh, you're going to come at me. I'm just going to jump and then, neutral air. And I was like, oh my God. So
I play Pit, so I have I got nothing.
Yeah, I want to play a little bit more. I'd honestly like, there's part of me that like, I would be totally down to play with more people, but I know like there's sometimes delays and stuff like that. But like, I definitely want to play more just because I feel like I've gotten super rusty at it. And I'm definitely not as good as I used to be. So,
oh, dude, getting back into Halo after 6 years was rough.
For
sure.
But I
I
mean,
hopped on and play Master Chief Collection every once in a while, but if you're not doing that on a regular, especially something like as quick as Smash Brothers, like it gets you.
oh, I can
It
imagine.
gets you.
Next question, last question of the pre-selected ones. This one comes from T-Dog 8282. What's your favorite winter holiday memory?
Whoa.
Mhm.
Favorite winter holiday memory.
Right in the feels.
Does Thanksgiving count or is it like Christmas time? That's fall, huh?
This
Winter.
fall.
Winter. Uh, do you have one off the top of your head?
Um, I would say, uh, I mean, there's like I got like the most favorite. Uh, in a weird way, I would probably. It's funny. I think, and I bring this up, and it's a weird one because I remember we had a question, and I brought up that it was during the time I was dating a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and she's completely married, has a baby and a house and all that stuff, and I wish her well. But I think this is like probably the best one I could think about. It was like I was dating this girl in college, and I'll tell everyone here in the audience, I'll be a little vulnerable. I was absolutely in love with this girl. I wanted to marry her. And I had gotten her a pretty expensive gift. And it wasn't like to me like, oh, I'm gonna show off, but like it was something that she really needed. It was a laptop. And
Oof.
she
So
felt
a
like,
cheap gift.
yeah, she felt very like, oh my God, how can I keep up with this? And I'm like, it's not meant to be that. Like, your computer just died. And I felt like you needed this to, finish school because that's important. And
Yeah.
that's
Right.
typically for me. Like, I like to give gifts that like either have super huge sentimental value or like are functional.
Yeah.
And she ended up buying me like $500 worth of stuff. And it was weird that I know the price point of that, but it was like because she had got me the Dark Knight trilogy on Blu-ray and then bought me an entire kit for my then camera at the time, which was
Mm.
the bag I think you currently have, Corey.
It is the bag I use it
Yeah.
fucking daily. I use that bag.
Yeah. It's the camera bag that you have. And
Do you need
then it
that
was
bag for sentimental reasons?
no. To me, it's a utilitarian thing. I was like, oh, I need to use this, and so blah
Sure.
blah blah. But like it was a 50 millimeter lens. It was like an extra battery pack, a charger, all this stuff. And it was really nice because I was shooting a lot of little collegey short films and stuff like that. So that is kind of the nice thing. And like we got to go to see my mom for Christmas, and then we got to go back and spend time. Like so, Christmas Eve and Christmas morning was with my mom, and Christmas night was with her mom. And it was just a very nice kind of like, wow, we're like, Corey knows I double book myself for a lot of things. And like, I try to like for Christmas, my life together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to see everyone that we wanted to see on the holidays and then also have like these kind of like really cool electronic gifts that like were really helpful for us was like kind of nice. Cause it was like, cool, let's play with our electronics, but then also let's just enjoy the fact that we have cool new stuff. So.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I have a couple. I have one from when I was a little kid, and my dad was real elaborate with it. Like, we were at my grandparents in Calabasas at the time, and the way the guest room was set up is it was a big king size bed. I had to have been like 6, no more than 6. At the oldest, maybe 7, but I think I was around 5 or 6. And so my dad would sleep, and then my sister was 3 or 4, and I was 5 or 6, and we would all sleep in that bed. And remember, he woke me up, and there's a big window at the end of the bed across the room, big, like 3 panes, big. And there was this red light flashing, like real slow, like fading in and fading out, like Great Gatsby style, and he's like, I think it's Rudolph. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh man.
And then we heard something downstairs. So he got my sister and I up, and we snuck downstairs. And the way it worked is there were stairs, an entire dining room, and then a little area below that. So you had the stairs, big dining room, and the little like area below that had like the TV and the fireplace and everything, and the Christmas tree. And there was fucking Santa Claus. Now, Didn't find out till way later. It was my grandpa in like a very elaborate suit, like a big, like a expensive suit that he rented. But it was him, and he was there, and he was pretending to put, So we met Santa Claus, and he like gave us our presents. He didn't speak because it's my grandpa, but he pantomimed everything, and he just went like this. He gave us the gifts, and then he went, go back to bed. And so we went up back to bed. But for like 3 or 4 or 5 years, I was like, I met Santa Claus. No big deal. It's fine. I met him. And that's like, I can like, it's one of those memories where like, if I close my eyes, I can see every detail of it because it was like such an impact on me. So
yeah,
that was pretty
childhood.
cool. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my dad on that one, and my grandpa for that one. That was a good plan. So that's a good memory I got. That's dad or sorry, bio dad.
That's a very good that's a very good story.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That makes my little Grinch heart jealous of your childhood.
Sorry, Tom.
No, that's great. I mean, hey, look, I think to me, it's one of those things where it's like, man, that must be that. It's one of those, man, those must be nice, but in the very good way. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful.
My family's about that. My mom used to do the carrot thing, where we put carrots out for the reindeer, and like we'd wake up in the morning and there'd be bites taken out of them and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my
cute shit.
Goodness.
Real cute shit.
Also trained to be good liars.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So now we can move on to our questions from the chat. I think we actually have been pretty good on time,
Yeah.
so we could run through quite a few questions.
Yeah, we've only been going for 27 minutes of actual showtime.
Nice. So first question is actually from someone I haven't seen in the chat. Maybe someone you may know from the you've seen in your streams, Corey. But from my mom's garage asked,
it's a new one for me.
Favorite movie villain, not comic book related.
Good question.
Not comic book related. Favorite movie villain. Oh, I have one already. I mean,
go for it.
Is he a villain? Is he a villain though?
Joker from Batman? Yes.
No. Not
Dark
comic
Knight?
book related. No.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, Hannibal's a villain.
Is he a villain? Buffalo Bill's the villain. But Hannibal Lecter is just a bad guy that they take information from.
Did he not eat some guy's brain?
In the second
eat a guy's
one,
liver?
That's I think it's Ray Liotta's brain.
It is, but didn't he like admit to eating his liver with some fava beans and some Chianti? That's a villain, my man.
I mean, he's a criminal, but is he the villain?
Yes.
Of the movie? Okay. Then Hannibal Lecter.
It doesn't say the villain of the movie. It says a villain. He is a villain.
Okay.
Brad said, if Hannibal Lecter isn't a villain, I don't know who is. Oh, and to answer Fuji's question, who is eating the carrots? My mom. My mom would go out and take bites of the carrots and then put them back down on the front porch. Movie villain.
I love Hannibal Lecter as a character, and I'm like, I'll put him in a movie. He don't have to. He's just a good character.
Well, look up this guy. Man, movie villain that's not comic book related. That's a good question. The first thing that comes to mind is Gary Oldman from Fifth Element. Just because of how much fun he was having.
Zorg?
Yeah, Zorg in Fifth Element is up there for me on list of favorite villains. But I don't think that's my favorite. That's a hard question. And to be honest, when I heard villains, a lot of comic book ones came to mind, like right off the bat. Like Logan. The bad guy from Logan, who's so cool, by the way. So fucking cool in that movie with the little robot hand and shit.
I'm surprised. I mean, part of me is kind of like, I'm surprised you're not saying Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden isn't a villain so much as he is a chaotic force. He's not even a real person.
It's part of him. He got created.
Yeah, I guess so.
Michael Myers.
Jigsaw, Michael Myers.
The Thing.
These are all good. These are all very good answers.
Virens.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Zorg for now, just because that's what came to mind, and that's what it is. But hit me up on the Discord. It's nerdon.tv/Discord.
Darth Maul.
Vader. Vader's a dope villain. Vader's up there with favorite villains. For sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Revan. Oh my God.
Darth. Yeah.
Malik. Revan and Malik, man. for sure. Those are my favorite villains. They're not
Uh,
movie villains. Say movie.
yeah. I mean, okay,
They're
if
not
we're
movie
kind of
villains.
rattling some good villains off, but favorite movie villain. Yeah, favorite movie
Okay.
villain.
Then Vader
I
for
mean,
sure.
also, I mean, how do you not? I forget his name.
It's so tough.
What's his name? It's not Silva. It's Silva's from Skyfall, but No Country
From
for Old Men.
oh yeah, Javier Bardem's character.
Call it.
Call it. So many
I
good
mean,
villains.
I mean, Imhotep.
Imhotep. Oh my
You
god.
care about him. I mean, or Jet Li from Lethal Weapon 4.
The Thing from The Thing. Does
I
that
said the
count as a
Thing.
villain?
I said the Thing.
Well,
A Xenomorph from Alien.
oh, you know who is up there with favorite villains?
Hmm.
No, that's just my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies. I was gonna say Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator. Is pretty great.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, next question.
next question. I'm gonna
Next
stick
one.
with Zorg for now, just because Gary Oldman.
Okay, and then mine was the hell was mine?
You said it right off the bat. You were like Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal
villain?
Lecter. Hannibal Lecter. Yeah. So yeah, from my mom's garage. Great question. Thank you very much. Next question is from Gamer Fuji. What's a fear you have that you would love to confront and overcome, or if you have already?
I don't like my belly button being touched.
Or
I think it's an actual physical, like it's a physical thing.
His butthole.
Less so. I prefer. I've always, since I was a little baby, I've never liked my belly button being touched, and I wish I could like this to get pull back the fucking curtain and be honest with you. Like everyone has to clean their belly buttons, and it's a deal. It's a thing. It's like a whole or fucking ordeal for me. So,
oh, nice.
I hate it. I want to get over it. Never will.
A fear I would love to confront, overcome. It's not really a fear. I'm not a strong swimmer, so like I'm just apprehensive around it all the time. I get a little afraid of heights, but then I get over it really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I climb up like up to 15 feet up in the air, I'm like, oh my god, this is high. And then I just like keep looking, and I'm like, cool, 3 points of contact. I'm like, I'm fine. Like Josh and I went rock climbing recently, and then I was like, oh, that's really high up there, and then I realized like I'm on a belay, I'm fine, I'm not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And I just climbed really fast. A fear.
I just climbed really fast. It's fine. No big deal.
It's temporary.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get
to the other side, and you're like, it's fear is the mind
for sure.
killer.
Fear is the mind killer. Yeah.
Yeah. Once that passes through me, I shall remain.
Yeah, Tom Zell said to the shit we pulled in the warehouse.
Yeah. Tom worked in a warehouse. You could
shit.
Yeah.
We did some shit there that I'm thinking back on now, going like, that can't be right.
I guess honestly, a fear, and this is maybe like a deep thing that I realize that I do and I have, and I'll share with everyone again. More vulnerable stuff, I guess. I have like a really absurd phobia. So like that's what a phobia is, right? It's a fear that's just like kind of based,
yeah,
non-based, of like
phobia can be based in something though, but yeah, it's a fear of something.
It's definitely based around my parents being divorced.
Sure.
And I think I have this dumb fear. I call it dumb fear. I know it's everyone's fear of being like kind of abandoned, and like kind of the world continuing on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's part of me that always kind of like welcomes like it's fine. If I didn't exist, it wouldn't matter. If I didn't direct the thing, it wouldn't matter. So there's a lot of that famous common threads that I have with it. So like it's just really weird. Like whenever like I meet someone or like become friends with someone, it's like don't get attached. Or like if there's a new job opportunity, it's like don't get attached. Like if you didn't, like if that could just go away immediately. Easy come, easy go. And so I have this really irrational fear of like,
is that how you feel about Josh and I? Don't get attached.
No, after a long time,
I'm
fine.
Yeah.
But like, like when we first started out Nerd On, it's like if this falls through and we hate each other, then
that's what it is.
Like this is what it is. So it's that's definitely a thing that I know that I do on very like non-matured relationships, and I don't know.
Sure. Why. I mean, yeah, I get you, man. I understand that.
I do know why, but like that's one thing I would probably like to be like I would conquer it, and that's something like I've had to be like, Tom, you are freaking out because you're worried about this. and it's not real. It can always happen, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, I
So
have the same. I have the thing with like I really believe sometimes I don't actually possess any useful skills, and I only half know the things I state to know, and that gets me awake at night. But then I drink coffee or smoke weed and go to bed instead of facing that. So maybe someday I'll face that one too. Who knows?
I just do my typical medication treatment I tell you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's spank it, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question, this one comes from Zelda Moore. Question: what is a unique family Christmas tradition you think you have? Corey's got plenty of them.
I have a ton of. I don't know if they're unique, but like the one I do that my family somehow still puts up with is I wake everyone up at 6 a.m. for Christmas. I get up at 5 and I make coffee and tea and a bit of food for everybody, and then I turn the heater on. I light a fire in the fireplace, turn the lights on the Christmas tree, start some music in the record player, and then I go wake everyone up at 6 a.m. because I fucking love Christmas. And then we make beef Wellington at night, so it's a win-win.
Very good. When I used to see my parents all the time, I think it used to when my parents weren't divorced, it used to be open one present before Christmas Day, so open a present on Christmas Eve, just because we were intolerable children and couldn't wait. But I think my new holiday tradition now is drive up to see my mom.
There you go.
And like there's no real tradition. We really don't care about like having staples other than like we're together, we're at family. There was one year for Christmas I spent with my mom and we ate at Denny's. Like my parents been through a lot financially and all that stuff, but it's like one of those things is like the tradition is we're around each other. And
we used to do Baker's Square. That was our. You remember those?
Yeah,
those restaurants, Baker's Square.
I don't know actually.
They were like a Denny's. They were like another type of like all breakfast all day kind of thing. IHOP, but it was called Baker's Square. But that was our version. Was that
nice?
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, no real actual traditions other than see my mom and hang out. And then the first thing that my stepdad says is, "Do you want a drink?" And I'm like, "I feel like you guys only like me when I'm drunk." So, but no.
Tom, this got so dark so quick.
All the time. That's my life. I live in darkness. That's where I idle. Next question.
I was born into it, molded by it.
Is going to be from Bad Reprint. Question: what's the worst injury you've sustained? And if it had a related superpower you could gain from it, what would that be? I love this question.
I mean, my worst injury.
Your fingy?
Yeah. I've never broken anything, knock on wood. I died when I was being born. Does that count? My heart stopped.
That's a lot.
But I wouldn't say that's an injury.
You know what? That could be, if that was a power, though. Corey, you'd be Sekiro. Shadows die twice.
Shadows die twice. But the reasoning was because my umbilical cord was the longest the doctor had ever seen, and it was wrapped around my neck. So really, my power would probably be shooting umbilical cords on my belly button, which I fucking hate the idea of because I'm afraid of my belly button being touched.
Oh.
You know the tape guy from My Hero? That'd be me, but just from my belly button. No, I think my worst injury was my finger, though. For sure. Like I cut a piece of my finger off. It still hasn't healed correctly. I don't know if you can see on a little bit. It's in 4K. Maybe people can tell, but it didn't heal correctly. And I guess what if I could just like, I don't know, I could point at people and I could read their minds.
To me, this is no.
I shoot fingertips out of my finger.
No, what I was gonna Tom Hardy. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger. You inside is a space cosmos, and then that little, hole is now you have to like seal it up, and then when you open it, like an entire
Cyclops.
universe shoots out. Yes,
like Cyclops. Okay, I dig that.
Yes,
I could do Spirit Gun from Yu Yu Hakusho.
From Inuyasha, it's a black hole, and so you could suck anything up, fire, flames, and even people, and they dissolve before they go inside. But the thing is, the more you use it, the more it eats up your finger.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, Tom. What about you? What's your worst injury you've sustained?
Worst injury I've sustained,
excluding the gauntlet you did for YouTube.
Oh yeah. I would say broken heart. I don't know. The worst thing I actually ever I think physically sustained is like a sprained ankle.
Mm.
Um, where like I was playing basketball in 8th grade and we were in the garbage team in PE. Like there's obviously the team that the varsity players go in. There's the team that people actually try to play basketball, and then there was my team, and we would play against all the other people who like didn't weren't good, but they whatever they just wanted the grade. And I remember I was like the tall guy, so I was like the point guard, and I would just like catch rebounds. I would jump and catch and blah blah. And then someone pushed me and I landed straight on my ankle and I rolled my ankle so hard that it sprained.
Oh,
Um, that being said, Achilles heel would be my superpower, where I'm invulnerable, strong as heck, but then I have an
except for your
Achilles,
ankle.
except for my ankle.
Got you.
That's what I could imagine. Very good question. Next question. Do you
Yeah.
have the time? Yeah. Um,
42 minutes is the
okay.
showtime so far. So.
Next question would be from Black Diablo Mamba. Oh, here's a question. What object from any movie, book, video game, or even anime that you would like to be made in the real world?
I mean,
Movie, book, video game.
lightsabers.
Even anime.
I gotta be true to myself. And the one thing I've wanted my whole life is for lightsabers to be real. The thing is, with real lightsabers, they do have a sparring version of them in the extended universe, if I'm remembering correctly. So you could like not cut your friend's fingers off, but you could like spar with lightsabers and have sword fights with lightsabers with your friends. And I just fucking love that idea. And I love the idea that like I would be able to find crystals and color them however I wanted and build a lightsaber from scratch. And man, lightsabers. I know that's such a like vanilla answer.
No, hey, that's your answer.
Yeah, or the morphers from Power Rangers.
Oh. Books or anime, movies, books or anime. I mean, there was a bad movie, but I would want it. It'd be a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
I can make weapons. I could fly. I go to space. I could sustain. I could make shields. I can make swords. I can make guns. I can make, Gundams. I could, it's the power of
Anything
my
your
imagination.
imagination and willpower. How strong?
Yeah.
And Tom has some fucking strong ass willpower.
Yeah, I almost died because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want a Green Lantern ring, probably green.
Good answer.
If not green, then more than likely red, because
Orange.
I'm in it. That's Professor.
Yeah, that's right.
That's Professor. One last question.
Yeah, and then I have one actually as a bonus.
Ooh, okay.
I just want to ask it.
Okay, I'm gonna get one from my mom's garage again, because I want to make sure that they come back again and we can always ask more questions.
Hell yeah.
From my mom's garage, comic book character you closely relate to.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Good question. What are you gonna say, Tom?
This is like the most edgelordy, elitist, dumb shit I'm gonna say, but
The
like
Punisher.
I really side
Who is it?
with Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it's
Like,
a little edgelordy. It is.
Yeah, it's very
a
like
little bit.
all these people, right? But it's like I get really like I feel like I try really hard on a lot of things. I try to do multiple things at the same time, but sometimes people are just like I've been told by my friends that I multitask too much. And people get annoyed by it. And like I realize that's what happens with Silk Spectre, and like there is a bit of me that kind of like wants to dissociate from humanity, of like all this petty drama and your stupid headlines and your clickbait garbage and you're hating each other. And then like I just want to go to a planet and just make things and create life and like not be like this god person, but just like hopefully a world where like we care more about things. But then also I see things like tragedies, and I mean like, and when I see like a soul survivor, I'm like, that's a miracle, like there are wonderful things in the universe and beautiful things that some people take for granted or could look back on and be like, I hate this life. And it's like, but you, out of everyone who truly should be bad, chose to be good. And that is the miracle of humanity. And it's like, Oh wow, the Doctor Manhattan's got a lot going on. So
Yeah, and he's edgy. So
and he's edgy, and he's balls out, baby.
what comic book character do we relate to the
You
most? Or
closely
closely
relate
relate to? So who's most like us? Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I know the answer to this for myself. I love Nightcrawler, but I'm not religious at all.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very far from it. And so that
Oh,
kind
I
of
know who you
kneecaps
are.
me there. What?
Donatello.
Donatello.
You're there for
Yeah,
your
probably.
bros. You're
Love
the
techie shit.
driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, techie stuff.
Yeah,
You
that's
like.
it. Donatello. Donatello is a good one. Uh, yeah, that's my answer. Donatello or the Ninja Turtles for sure. Um, and
I mean,
I get along
you,
with like little bro energy type people. Tom,
yeah. I
Mikey,
wonder who you're talking about.
Tom. I was talking about Mikey, but but
uh,
you,
look at your whole background. What's the colors?
yeah, it's purple.
It's purple. It's Donatello colors.
Yeah,
Uh,
what are you gonna do?
Julie, I could talk. If anyone wants, go on the Discord. I will do a whole personality. Like, this is your horoscope. This is the energy I get from you from a comic book character.
Yeah,
Uh,
Donatello's
uh,
good. That's really well done.
yeah,
Well
man.
done. I'm impressed.
So you had a surprise question, and that'll be the end of our questions.
Yes. Okay. I just blanked on what they're called. Like, there's a name for like Bigfoot and all those kind of things.
Oh, cryptids.
Cryptids. Okay. So, there's two ways we could do this question. I kind of want to see what this is for you. Let's say you had to cryptids existed, right?
Mhm.
For real. What is the one that you would try to nix? Like if you got to choose one of them doesn't exist, that's the one that I don't need walking around this earth.
Oh,
Because for me, it's skinwalkers. Shit scares the hell out of me, the concept.
you mean
Uh
like in Supernatural?
there was no they're different. I mean, the lore is a little different than in Supernatural, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um
Explain the lore for Skinwalker.
Skinwalker is actually a Native American lore based character, and it is a lot of the times it would be like it can change into animals and stuff like that, but it can mimic the sounds of humans, and by doing that it would usually pretend to be someone distressed out in the woods, so someone would come looking to help. They would take the form of coyotes a lot, because coyotes were seen as smart and tricksy. Uh, so yeah, it scares the hell out of me. Someone made a fake video about a skinwalker, and it's this like I'll send it to you because I was like, this is scary as shit. I never thought skinwalkers were scary until I saw this. But it's some guy, it's like this figure out in the field standing super still, but you can hear him going like, help,
Oh
somebody
God.
help. And it's just like it scares the shit out of me. So yeah, there was this guy, going down a rabbit hole because I follow this TikToker who's a Native
They're a
American guy.
TikToker too.
Yeah, he's a Native American guy, and he does comedy and stuff. But one of the things he said was when you bring your white friends to the reservation for the first time, and he's like, "Hey man, it's pretty cool out the window here. Why is that coyote standing on both feet?" And he just looks up and goes, "Get away from the window. Close the blinds."
Oh
Skinwalker.
God.
He's like,
That's
"Yeah, it's really nice out
terrifying.
here." "Yeah, why is that coyote standing on its hind legs?" Close the blinds.
Go away. I saw a question in the chat. What are cryptids? Cryptids are just a list of creatures that contrary to facts or anything that they have been proven to believe that many people do
So like
believe exist.
Bigfoot, Yetis,
Jersey
Chupacabra.
Devil.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be mythical or supernatural in any way. They could just be creatures, like the Chupacabra, um,
Mothman.
Mothman. So I love cryptids. I'm a big fan of monsters. If you ever ask me, what do I like more, monsters or aliens? I prefer monsters. I know there's a movie, Monsters versus Aliens, and I was like, I hope the monsters win because there's something really nice of this ancient like creatures that kind of have been roaming around the world or underneath the world, underneath our feet, who've kind of like laid dormant, and then like the idea of aliens coming and they would like then unearth themselves and then be like, oh, this is our land. It's like, oh, like we have
Yeah.
monsters that we're scared of, but like they're also like we're
That's
gonna
why
protect
Our
our
Real
kid.
Monsters was an OG show. That show is real good. To this day, I've watched some bits of it as I've grown up, and I'm like, you know what? Still holds up. But yeah, what's the one you would be like, hell no, that's not making the list
Oh,
of things
I
allowed
mean,
to exist?
for the good of mankind, it
Mm-hmm.
would probably be the Mothman.
Really?
The Mothman is like a terrible thing. Like Loch Ness and chupacabras and all them, they're just doing their thing. Like, and that's the thing I love about monsters is like, oh, that's within their nature to eat other
Yeah.
things, right? Like,
Is Mothman only
and
evil, or is he seen by as good by some?
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
just thinking
like
of Fallout, maybe, because in Fallout, the giant moth he's a good guy, can be a good guy.
it's got red eyes, black wings, large flying man. Um, described it following their car. I'm on the wiki right now. And I feel like it's
Probably evil.
supposed
Yeah.
to be not great. Again, I don't know if, again, that's the kind of fun thing about cryptids. Like you don't know if they're like good things. But like, yeah, I feel like Mothman. I mean, I see in the chat somebody's like, he's just a friend hanging out, but like there's a whole movie called Mothman Prophecies, and that man ain't hanging out. I think chupacabras are way more chill. They're just gonna eat your sheep or eat your goats or goats, and that's it. They're just a
Yeah,
natural
chupacabras
predator for your
don't bother
goats.
you.
They're not gonna try to eat you.
Skinwalkers and Mothman are out though, y'all.
Yeah,
So
that's it for me.
that's my question for the day. There it
All
is.
right.
You
I
heard it
like
here
that.
first, y'all. Thank you all for coming out and listening to our update show. If you're new here, I'm gonna make it real easy, keep it simple. Nerdon.tv. It's got links to everything, old episodes, all that kind of stuff. And while you're at it, if you liked what you heard or watched, if you're watching us live, think about joining the Nerd On Nation powered by Patreon. Nerdon.tv/Patreon. You get access to bonus episodes. You get early access to episodes, discounts on merch, all that fun stuff, and a super secret Discord as well. But if all of that doesn't take your fancy, at least think about joining our public Discord at nerdon.tv/Discord, so you can hear my conspiracy theories about 343 and Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. And Tom can tell you what comic book
character
superhero you are. I think that about wraps it up. Tom, you want to give him a little Manscaped spiel real quick while we're here?
Yeah, everyone, we have a partnership with Manscaped. So check out manscaped.com and use promo code NERDON to get 20% off and free shipping. So please check that out. Nerdon at manscaped.com. They got a bunch of cool things like the lip balm you saw me using earlier, body wash and shampoo and conditioner, which are their new items for the holidays. They make great stocking stuffers. And if you want to get anything like the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, those are also great for your white elephants and any Secret Santas.
That and the Nerd On Nation, those all help us out a lot. So
Please
consider it stocking stuffer or something like that. Anyway, let's find someone to raid, Tom.
Yes. Let's also end the show so that we can do our post show.
Yes. Oh, that's right. That's right. Excuse me. It's been a day. But anyway, thank you all for listening. You know the drill. As always, Nerd on.